everyone, Kiki Kannon here with Kannon Studios and welcome to another video. I know I've been away for a while, busy with the holidays and various things, but I'm back to bring you guys some more videos. So today's video, I'm going to be going over creating Winter Zelda's boot cover. So if you're interested in making your own boot covers for your cosplay, I hope this helps you. However, I will be specifically following how I made these, which might not be exactly how you make yours, but it might help you in creating yours. I can also make other boot tutorial videos. So thank you for sticking around, and let's go ahead and get started. So starting off, I found these great boots at Forever 21, which I thought were going to work perfect for Zelda's winter snow boots, and surprisingly they had my size, which is usually pretty hard to find. So first I'm going to start, and I saran wrapped my leg and used masking tape and then drawed on the line with Sharpie. So this can be really hard because it is on your leg. I did get help to do this because it is a little trickier. So I recommend if you have someone to kind of help you, it would make it a lot easier. And carefully cut it off, and then I labeled all of the pieces before cutting them out so I knew which one was which. And I also remembered to add little notches so that later when I sew it together, I can line them all up because I do have a lot of different pieces. Her boots do have a lot of seams on them, so I did kind of want to match that look. And the more seams I have, the more fitted it can be. Not to say that you need a bunch of seams. I just liked how that looked. So after I have all those traced, I cut it out, and I made sure to cut it out in the same direction because of the fabric I'm using, and it is a one-way stretch, so I made sure to make the stretch horizontally instead of vertically because that's primarily where I wanted to stretch to happen. So my apologies for the lighting in this part. I did pretty much make these when I was streaming on Twitch, so this is kind of the best angle I was able to get in my other studio. So I just lined up all my pieces and clipped them together. You can use pens if you want, but I'm just going to use clips because of this material I'm working with, and stitch them all together. I just kind of clipped it in segments of 2 or 3 panels at a time, and then stitched it and then went back and did the other 2 or 3 panels. And then after all the panels were done, I did press open my seams so that I could stitch them down. This definitely makes it look more professional in my opinion. Also, I just think it looks really, really good with this fabric. And I used kind of a gold thread, which I just thought looked nice together. And I changed the design of the back to match my boots as well. So this is the front toe piece. After I had all the base done, depending on how your boot covers look. Alright, so now that that piece is sewn together, I lined it up on my main boot piece. I know it's a little hard to see, but because it's on a curve, it is a little tricky, so definitely take your time and don't feel like you need to rush it, and just kind of go slowly around the edge. So every boot cover is going to be a little bit different, but they all kind of have a very similar formula in my opinion. So far this one looks like the fitment is good. If I want to adjust the bottom, I could seam rip it and line up that back seam better, depending on how nice I want it to look. So I'm going to move on to the top part where it is furry, and I found this beautiful fur that I liked. It's a little bit different than just the plain white because I'm just kind of doing an interpretation of the costume, so I am making minor adjustments. So I'm using these cotton trims. I don't remember exactly what it's called. I'm just using this to put in the fur to make it more thick and give it that big fluffy look. So I just measured the circumference around my leg to know how long I wanted the pieces, and I just put the cotton in between to kind of see how thick I needed it to be to cut out both of my rectangles. Now that I have it all cut out, I am just going to put the good sides together and clip it and try to push in as much fur as possible and just take away any extra fluff. And I'm just going to base stitch this down evenly. I'm going to line up the back to the back seam and then work my way to the front on each side. Obviously, you don't have to do it this way. And then I went back in and I stitched it down with my machine. Now that that's all done, I'm adding in some of the decorative pieces in the front, like the buttons. And I was rushing this, so I didn't put in a lining, but if you wanted to put in a lining, you could do that pretty easily. I don't necessarily need it for this fabric, but if I wanted to be extra fancy and make a lining, I could, but it also just kind of depends if you're working with a fabric that's more likely to fray. And I'm also adding in this nice decorative gold rope that I thought matched nicely. And I'm happy with the buttons I was able to find. I think they're very suiting for the overall design aesthetic. So I didn't get a chance to record, but I did work on this while I was streaming on Twitch. But I did just sew down the ends on each shoe to keep it flat because I specifically bought these shoes for Zelda and I wasn't going to wear them for anything else, so I didn't mind. Thank you for sticking around for the whole video, and I hope you guys were able to find that useful. I know it doesn't exactly fall under every boot tutorial, but maybe in the future I'll be making more. I'm kind of making tutorials based on my own projects that I'm working on right now. As I made many projects in the past, I didn't record them then, and now I'm starting to be better at recording my projects so I can share them with you. I do have more resin tutorials coming as I did order to Jupiter, so I will be making videos on resin printing if you originally came for those videos. But primarily, I also focus on cosplay. So if this interests you, please stick around and subscribe for more videos. And thank you guys so much. I appreciate it.